Goodness gracious, everybody. I am back. What is up? What is up? How are you on this beautiful Thursday? Yes. Yes, what's up, everybody? It is Thursday. And I am back with another episode of theeOPSON. You already know. Starting off this podcast called theeOPSON. Hopefully, it'll become like a frequent thing. Might start doing these as like an hour. I don't know. I wouldn't say I don't have anything to talk about. I just need, I don't know. I just need me, what's it? I think doing these like hour segments is just like easier to digest rather than like, me. If anything, if I do longer streams for these, what's it called, podcasts, definitely have to come a little bit more prepared rather than just have a lot of dead time, and all that good stuff. So yes, like this episode it is episode 7, and we're going to talk about Stonks. Yes. First off, I am not a financial advisor. I'm probably not going to even be like suggesting anything. So my little history of the stock market thus far is pretty much I'm going to be turning 1 year old in a couple days, or maybe in the next week or two. But not to brag or anything, but I've been able to with the amount of money, at least by at least the last time I checked, by the beginning of this year, I was up 40-ish%. Not like 41, but like 40-ish, like 40 point something percent. And, not too bad. I mean, able to write off the crash that happened like right after, like right at the end of February and the beginning of March. So, good year. Hopefully to get back into, or, hopefully to find something very similar this year, but who knows? I want to say everything's back to normal, but, there's still room for growth and all that good stuff, but I wouldn't be mad at all, because at least with the direction that I went with stocks, I went with like a passive like income, as you would say. So, like I said, I've only been doing this for about a year, so I don't know too much, but one thing I have learned is literally the 2 D's, the double D's, everybody, is due diligence. Yes, you got to do your due diligence. There has been talks of the stock market being a casino. This is not like the stock market, the economy. This is just like a gambling casino at the moment. And honestly, with doing your due diligence and knowing what to look for, and it doesn't necessarily you have to dive deep looking into every company's like 10Ks and all that, or 10Qs, I forget. You don't necessarily need to break it down all the way to that level of research and all that, but you can. It is good knowledge to have, and it definitely strengthens kind of like you can confirm things and stuff like that, but you do need to at least know how that business works at, like, if anything, you just want to be at the surface level of looking into these companies, because like we all know that Apple like makes iPods and they do computers and stuff like that. I think they're doing like a new chip. They're thinking of doing a car. So other avenues and ventures they can do. I mean, they also do like cloud, and then they have like their own little operating system. So they have like just more than just like hardware. So you kind of have to know, at least how the business operates and all that jazz. But to kind of like digress before I like go off and suggest like maybe if you're like if you're like really new to this, and this is definitely just my beginner knowledge just being shared to those that don't know anything, or are interested and kind of just want to get my opinion on it, or just at least listen to it if anything. Like I said, do your due diligence, but at least one of the reasons why I got into investing is just because I kind of wanted my money to work for me, from at least what I've heard from videos on YouTube, a lot of research and a lot of video watching. But hearing such things as like a savings account, which is like normally, I guess like the traditional way of like saving money, or like, I guess like making money as to like saving it. That's with a savings account, it would just grow year by year with the interest rates. But I've heard like interest rates are like lower than like the inflation rate. So literally your money is just like inflating in like a bank account, at least that for the moment, when, the federal interest rate is like 0. So I kind of wish I knew this knowledge when I was younger. So that's why I kind of want to just like at least chat about it. If anyone is out there listening to this, you can definitely chime in. I would definitely like to hear what your thoughts or anything you'd like to add in. It'd be much appreciated if it's useful. But yes, so hearing from watching videos from such people like Minority Mindsets, Jaspreet Singh from Minority Mindsets, Meet Kevin, or Kevin from Meet Kevin, Stefan Graham, Andre Jick, and then like Jeremy of Financial Education. They're all about stock markets, financials, real estate, all that good stuff. So at least like seeing how these individuals like have lived their lives, I think like I think mostly like Andre, like honestly the people that I just like mentioned, other than like Jaspreet, are kind of like an inner circle. I wouldn't say like they're super, they knew each other before YouTube, but definitely becoming, like them becoming like kind of like the financial faces of the YouTube sector, or the financial sector of the YouTube like universe. They know each other. They do like a whole lot of real estate, getting a whole lot into investing, which is good. And I like I said, I totally recommend those to invest. And anytime is really the best time. It's definitely difficult to time the market. But like I said, if you're not truly, if you're consuming more and just like, just working, and you're not really like doing, like making money from YouTube, yada as a job, saving money kind of is just like, through a bank account. And like I mentioned before, a savings account has like a lower interest rate, like an annual like rate that you'll just increase by having money in your savings account. It's like lower than the inflation rate. So your money just like actually inflates faster than your money actually grows in a savings account. And that sucks. You know what I'm saying? I wish I knew that when I was quite younger. So at least I could have done something a little bit better with that. And yo, what's up? Pretty Good Gaming. Thank you for the raid. And yo, D111602, thank you for the follow. Shout outs to you. What's up, Jay? How's it going, Kels? How are you? What's up? Hello. What's up, everybody from the Pretty Good Gaming raid? Shout outs to y'all. If you guys are having a great Thursday. Yes, right now I am talking about Stonks and what I know about it. So at least let me go back for those that are just joining me. At least my history of the Stonks, or at least investing in the stock market, isn't that long, but at least it's been almost a year now, which is great. I actually got my first stock in Hawaii. Interesting. And I'm out here in the West Coast, California, Pacific Standard Time. Can't talk right now. But yes, by the end of 2020, I was able to increase my portfolio by 40%. So I wouldn't say I doubled my money, but I got I got half of it almost. So it's not bad. What was the first stock? So my first stock was Plug Power, and Plug Power is to the moon, everybody. Hashtag to the moon. All the all the memes. Diamond hands, that Plug Power for sure. Not gonna lie. Who knows? But so what Plug Power is a hydrogen fuel cell company. They make the fuel cells, I believe. And well, so yeah, actually they do make the fuel cells, but they're into more of making like hydrogen powered like forklifts at the moment, because the technology is not truly there at the moment, to be honest. Like a lot of people are still talking like hydrogen fuel cells will probably be like a 2030 thing. Right now is all about electric vehicles and Tesla and all that cool stuff. So at least with electric vehicles and alternative fuel being very popular, Plug Power has actually done really well, because just an alternative, and hydrogen fuel cells are a really good way. Well, we'll see what happens. I don't know what's up with like hydrogen fuel cell technology at the moment, but it is an alternative. It probably powers, or it's like easier to like recharge than like a battery or something like that, or like maybe the batteries aren't as like or maybe easier to produce or whatnot. But at least that was my first stock, which is pretty neat. Totally appreciate that. Lil Tito said they would have hydrogen fuel producers by 2015. Yeah, that's not happening. And I mean, if they did, like, where would they fuel charge their hydrogen fuel cells? What I'm saying? Like, even though I have the stock and I'm optimistic or bullish for the stock, like the technology is not there. And by 2015 that's already passed. I just now knows the date. So yeah, terrible. I'm in like maybe like the hydrogen fuel Prius is like a hybrid as well. It's like not fully like a true hydrogen. But that is funny though. So yeah. So like I was kind of like getting at, you don't really like save money through a savings account. And, I would love to have known this like information like a while back when I was younger. So at least I knew more stuff. Yo, what's up, Earl? What's up, dude? How are you, man? OP. How's it going, man? Dude, I haven't seen you in a minute. How are you? How's life? How's your 2021 so far, man? How's everything? How's the quarantine, dude? But yeah, talking about Stonks. And yeah, there's kind of like for those that kind of want to like get to know, or like, well, not get to know, but if you're not too familiar with like the stock market and you kind of wanted to know more, yeah, this is just like me sharing my information. Because like I said, I wish I knew this earlier. It would have been like very helpful. Like I said, you don't get, what's it? So at least with the federal interest rates being like at 0%, your savings account pretty much does not, there's no interest rate for your savings account. So it doesn't beat the 2% inflation rate that the Federal Reserve like goes for every year. Like that's the target rate every year. They want to increase or inflate the money by is 2%, and your bank account doesn't grow that fast. So it just inflates, and if it's in the savings account, it just inflates. That's it. You just okay. So hearing like people on YouTube say that like if you invest in the stock market and you kind of just keep it in like very passive stocks, kind of just like you invest your money and you just forget about it because it'll just grow. Yeah, you would get an annual return of 7 to 8%. So whatever you invest, you would get 7 to 8% back every year, which is dope. You know what I'm saying? That's very passive. You know what I'm saying? And so, hello, didn't mean to interrupt. Nah, it's all good. It's all good. It's all good. Elski, hold on, give me 1 second, y'all. I need to hydrate myself. Definitely for sure. Got to keep yourself hydrated, y'all. Keep yourself healthy. And I hope everyone is, staying safe. Everyone's doing good. Hopefully, well, I mean, everything's like open, but for those that have been like, just kind of like staying chill and just staying inside, hopefully you're all doing good. Hopefully you're not going into getting a little cooped up, but let me get some water real quick. I'll be right back. Give you some music. Oh. Okay, that was noisy. Love having a water cooler in my room. Okay, yeah, chill way. Roots. Okay, my bad, y'all. So what's it? Okay, so like I said, very passive way of investing in the stock market, and you'll be able to just like get an annual return of 7 to 8%. So if you want to, one thing that I've learned in the stock market is literally due diligence. The double D's of the stock market and just like financial talk is due diligence. Like, do your research. You can go as deep as to be able to read it, their balance sheet pretty much. You can be like me and go that deep, but you can kind of just like play it safe and kind of go for companies that will be here for a minute. Like I said, do due diligence. There are companies like Hertz and JCPenney's and the such who are kind of like mainstream names, at least to those in the Bay Area. And they're gone. So like I said, do due diligence, but you can kind of just be like, oh yeah, I know Apple, and they make iPods, and they make computers, and they're probably into like cloud information, all that good stuff. I'm hearing they're making like their own computer chips, so Apple will be around, and you kind of don't need to. You can kind of play it safe and just put your money into Apple as well. And before I go on, I am not a financial advisor. Do not, if anything goes wrong, I'm not the one to blame. This is all for entertainment purposes, like I said, or educational purposes. Like I said, do your due diligence. Just don't go listening to a random guy like me. But yo, what's up, Liam? Sorry, I was off my my chat. But yo, what's up, Liam? What's up, Xylon? How are you guys? Hope you guys are doing well on this Thursday. You guys have time just to talk about Stonks, and at least what I know about it. Been in it for a year, able to get like a 40% return. There's many ways of investing. I go a semi-passive route, which I hope within like 10 to 15 years I can kind of escape the 9 to 5. Hopefully, who knows? But like I said, I am not a financial advisor. Do not listen to me. But we'll go over some of the different ways you can invest in the stock market. So you can invest in like a couple things. You can invest in stocks. You can invest in ETFs. You can invest in cryptocurrencies. And these are pretty much assets. So when you have these assets, of course you will be taxed by them. So you got to remember how these are taxed. if you carry a stock, an ETF, cryptocurrencies, I'm not too sure, but I want to just say it's just like one certain thing. It's not like stocks or ETFs. But if you have a stock or ETF and you sell it within 1 year, you will be taxed. It will be included in your yearly gain, like you worked. You know what I'm saying? Like you worked, and that money will be taxed within your tax bracket of that capital gains. And then if you keep it within a year, or if you sell that stock or ETF a year and a day more, you'll get a long-term capital gain, and that's taxed differently than your just like your normal gains. I think you need to invest in stonks of green energy companies. No, yeah, that's smart. Honestly, Joe Biden said, "Yo, I want to go no fossil fuels." So honestly, that's a smart play. Definitely do your due diligence on which companies you want to go into, but kind of if is like like Tesla, if you want to go for electrical vehicles. There are companies that actually do like, other projects or whatnot. I don't know them per se, but yeah, greener companies. But there, some companies too, like I heard like ExxonMobil is trying to become more like green. So, do your due diligence, see who you want to, what's it called? Invest in. But yeah, that chill wave music is pretty good. I don't like it. It's nice and just like ad free, I guess. But yeah, what's up, Zylan? I'm doing great, man. Had a good day today. Just had work. Easy day. Not bad. Just wood delivery and kind of had to like clean out this unit. But that was it, pretty much. And all the adulting stuff I do afterwards. Mostly cleaning, getting lazy. But yeah, so like I said, there's a couple ways you can invest into the stock market. There's passive ways, and then there's like, the very, I won't say aggressive, but very active. So passive, like I said, you can kind of think of it as a couple ways. You can think of it as just investing stocks. Traditionally, you just buy in low and then wait for it to grow to the moon and then sell. And then, there are definitely certain stocks and definitely for sure ETFs that just, that will just keep growing and you don't kind of have to worry about it unless for stocks for sure, because that's individually investing in a company. So if that company goes down, yeah, your stocks go bye-bye. But for ETFs are different. So ETFs are like pretty much an index like the S&P 500 where it's like it tracks the S&P 500 tracks like the top 500 like companies in America, but ETFs are like specific like companies. So like kind of like is that an L or an I? I'm gonna say DL. As DL was like in an app. Yeah, stonks and green companies. There are ETFs that track nothing but like green companies, and it'll have different percentage. Like their their whole portfolio isn't gonna be just in one company. So you don't have to be afraid of that ETF ever like, going to zero, because that like the people that run that ETF, like if one stock in that portfolio, that ETF goes bad, they replace it with something else. So it literally, as much money as you can get through ETFs, like isn't as like volatile, I guess you can say, as to stocks. Like stocks, it can literally go to the moon. But if like, but if that ETF like only has that one stock that goes to the moon, but everything else doesn't really, or if they like fail, then literally like that ETF doesn't do as well, as that one stock. Sorry, I was eating. How do you deal with the pandemic? Stay at home. There you go. Yeah. I'll get a second vaccine in 8 days. Oh shoot. Hopefully, hopefully you're doing well, man. I'm assuming you got the. Oh wait, well, you got the vaccine. I'm not gonna assume that you actually got the virus, but yeah, have fun with that, man. How's the experience? Nothing too like crazy, hopefully, right? Um, so yeah, there's that way. Like I said, there's the very passive way, and that is pretty much just going for these like growth. Um, well, if you want to go for like the invest and forget it and like know that it'll never like drop, you want to go more ETFs. And like I said, ETFs just follow certain things, and there are actually ETFs that like follow like pretty much the S&P 500 or like the Nasdaq or something like that, or the Dow Jones. Um, I forget which ones they are, but I know people always talk about like VOO, VOO, talk about SPY, and some other ones I forget. But yeah, those ETFs, literally you invest your money, and you know the S&P 500 has pretty much just gone up ever since forever. So you can kind of be like safe and sure. Like honestly, if America like crumbles as a nation, then yeah, maybe you should be scared for your on ETFs that follow the S&P 500. But other than that, I mean, I want to be super weird. I live in Israel. Ah, okay, nice. Yo, how is it over there? I've never, yeah, I haven't been to the like, I've never been to Europe, and I have never really been to like the Middle East. I've like never been to that region. I kind of want to go there, you know? I want to go to Africa. That'd be sweet, like South Africa or like Egypt or something. But definitely like, I want to like try to go to those more areas, you know? I've been to Singapore. I've been to the Philippines. I've been to Hong Kong. A lot of Asian countries. And I was like in Mexico for a bit, like in a cruise. So, yeah. How is it over there? What time is over there? Yo, let me know. It's like almost 11 out here in the West Coast. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so it's 8:28. Nice. And it's like the 12th, right? That's what I'm assuming. I mean, it's almost the 12th for us, or maybe it's the 13th for you guys. Who knows? 24-hour formats. Ah, yeah, that's pretty cool. I'm super used to what is non-military hour. But yeah, I guess 12-hour format. Um, but yeah, so another way to invest in the stock market is the way I do it, and it's by dividends. So at least with like my way, it's you kind of have to keep your eye on your stocks. It's not just invest and like forget it, because at least with dividends, and what are dividends is that a company will pay you a certain amount of money for each share that you have of the company. So these dividends aren't like immune to anything. They can be stopped at any time. So like I said, you have to like kind of do your due diligence of seeing how the company is doing. If the company's failing, they might have to cut dividends to like help out with like losses, or pay off debt and of the such. But if it's if all is going well, your dividends might increase. The company most likely wants to pay out dividends. But like I said, you kind of have to like keep an eye on these stocks. When the pandemic happened in 2020, there was like a dividend aristocrat, which is like a company that always, for years has paid their dividends and has increased their dividends yearly, like, stopped because the pandemic happened, and that was like Shell, and that was the oil company Shell. So you have to do due diligence. You have to keep an eye on it. Like I said, or like I gave that example, Shell like stopped. So if you were like big into Shell and you're like, yeah, I have like I get a hell of money from dividends from Shell, and that's like my main source of income, or at least my main dividends. Yeah, you kind of got screwed when they stopped it. So, like I said, you kind of have to do you kind of have to keep your eye on it. It's not like the worstest of things, because you can be safe about your choices of companies that give out dividends, and with all things in the stock market, it does get taxed differently. I actually enjoyed it. I love this kind of things. Hey, for sure. I'm glad to hear that you enjoy it. I know some people, think this is like very boring adulting things, but like I said, if I was younger and I knew that like, like the stock market will just bring me 7 to 8% a year better than a savings account, why put my money in a savings account? And have my money work for me. And like I said, I got my first stock in February of last year, and through my, almost a year of investing, I was able to, increase my portfolio by 40%. So, I got lucky. I'm not going to lie, because of the environment that we are in. I mean, sure, I had to pick the stocks, yes, and do my research. But you know what I'm saying? We recovered from a crash. And granted, yes, we crashed. We might have not come back. We might have just gotten worse. But, if you believe in like America not being like in a depression forever, or, not being a superpower, then you kind of have a safe bet that, we'll kind of recover from it. So, right now, it's a very interesting time for the stock market, especially with everything going on with like GME and people hearing this insider talk and like trader talk and shit and all that good stuff. That is like another topic that is very, like, I wouldn't say like super advanced, but definitely like it needs more than what I'm going to be able to give you guys right now, because I'm probably only going to be streaming for like another 30 minutes. Started doing these like podcasts a little bit shorter, just to have just an hour of like video to digest, because watching a 2-hour thing is like, that's 2 hours. And hopefully this will make me better, like, not have a lot of dead time. But shout out to you, Kels. Thank you so much for coming through. Have a good day tomorrow. Have a good night's sleep. Hope to see you again soon. Yeah, hopefully we can hang out again soon someday. Totally would enjoy that. But it's good to see you, Kels. Have a good night, and I hope to see you again soon. Sorry, I'm like probably my fingers like being chopped off by this, but adios. But yes, like I said, dividend investing. It kind of goes with like growth and value investing, where you look at some companies and do you believe that they're going to grow? Do you see like, or are they at a price in the stock market where they're of value to buy and they're not like super expensive? And that kind of, I wouldn't say I try to think of it too much in that like aspect. That is, unless you kind of like want to shoot for some like smaller companies hoping to like be big as like Tesla one day, you can kind of like get more into like growth research and all that good stuff, kind of like DL was like getting at with like green energy. You can like try to see if like you can see growth within the company. Kind of like, for example, would you say like Snapchat is a growth company? I think at the moment in time, they probably are. but like in a, probably 3 more years, like how much more innovation can Snapchat provide before like going stale? So that's what you want to think of for growth stocks. And kind of like, it doesn't have to necessarily be at the beginning of like a company's like, start and all that. You could have like looked at, Amazon like earlier, like 10 years before, and just been like, do you see a decline in, in-person shopping versus online shopping? And that was kind of the thing when Black Friday in the before times, before the pandemic that scarred the earth. We were able to hey, shout outs to you. Cherish love for the bits. Thank you. Sorry, I don't have like the notifications. I probably should go to this one.
Cherish underscore love cheered X1.
Maybe things will come out. Yeah, there you go. Thank you so much.
Cherish underscore
so and then
love
value
cheered
stocks
X1.
are pretty much like, say, can I think of? And value stocks kind of go in the same mindset as growth. But you kind of have to like think of something if it's undervalued. Like say, say there's like another electric vehicle company and they literally are just as good as Tesla. Like, you look into their 10Ks and you see that their balance sheet is like, wow, they have a lot of like revenue. Just like they have a lot of capital from like fundraising or whatever. And they have like, all this stuff set up and they're like in a better position than like, their competitors were at their startup, whatever. If this company per se was starting up, or this company has been around for like a year, you can like say like, oh, is this like company really being valued for what it's like truly worth? And then like I said, you can kind of think of it as growth as well, because like if it's not being valued as much as it should be, like is there a potential for it to actually like grow? Because now they start innovating of a sense. But I just know the biggest worry of my generation is global warming, so it only logical to invest in green technology companies. Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, if that wasn't an issue, then yeah, I would probably be like, nah, that's not a good play. But you know what I'm saying? Like even a lot of the world leaders, and there are the organizations such as like the Paris Climate Accords, and the such. I guess whatever the U.S. equivalent is, but I know Biden definitely for sure has been talking about more, just away from fossil fuels and more into electric. Boomers and companies need to change on green energy. Definitely for sure. It is going to take some time though, unfortunately. Because there are other countries out there that aren't like as developed as America, so it's not is it logical at their moment to like have like Teslas just run around their like nation without like them having actual like charging ports and stuff like that? But hey, maybe they do. Maybe like a lot. Well, definitely maybe in like Europe for sure. But like else places like maybe like in Africa, it's probably not like that. Maybe in South America, some parts. So yeah, it's interesting where we're at with like alternative energy. We are definitely at like a turning point, and like it's what I'm saying, it's not like like for sure the decline of like fossil fuels is like upon us, which is like dope. Tesla bus, Is that what they're like doing out there in like those parts? Or are you just like suggesting like they should do like a Tesla bus? But that'd be cool. But yeah, so and then I guess like the very aggressive way or the very active way is being a day trader. And pretty much you literally like try to find like what's hot and what's increasing at the moment, and like try to play off that and try to get off try to buy in and then like sell out right away. you know and there's like a couple ways to being like an active trader. Like you don't have to be necessarily on your computer 24/7, but you can be, and those like traders are like are known as swing traders, where they will see the trend, like they'll see the trend happening, they'll buy at the low, and then when they, whatever they conclude, however they conclude, they see like the trend end, and then like that's like, okay, now it's maybe the stock will kind of sell off because it isn't as like hype as it is. Maybe it's just been all hype and stuff like that, or people just buying in. So they'll sell and wait for like a drop, and like people do that so often. Well, I mean, like not so often, but like throughout their day. It's not, like I said, they're not in front of a screen 24/7. What's up, Batman? How's it going? You already know. I don't know, my hair's all that stuff. How am I looking cute? What are you talking about? How to do for you, Batman, of course. For you, Batman. Yeah, I watched that DC Titans like HBO thing. Trash. But all I can remember saying is what was it Dick Grayson was saying in like the trailers and all that. Hella dumb though. They hella forced the word fuck in that like show. It was terrible. But yeah, how are you, Batman? How's everything going? Even when old companies, I think it will be like SMG2 tried to copy SMG. Wait, are you talking about the? I'm confused. I'm thinking of a gun for some reason. You're not talking about a gun, right? Bro, Titans was trash. Yeah, it was pretty bad. I don't know. It was just weird. Like it was just like a huge swing and a miss. Like I don't know why they had to have like Starfire, just like in amnesia. Sorry, spoilers for anyone who hasn't seen this first season. But one of the characters that's like an alien, just like has amnesia for no reason. Never figures out why. I guess she crashed. I guess that was the explanation. Forever. It was pretty bad. I'm not even gonna talk about it. That's how bad it is. I don't want to talk about it. No, yeah, the cartoons series is definitely like where it's at. You know what I'm saying? What's it called? Yeah, anything like comic book live action. I mean, the movies for like Marvel have been decent, and I can't say the same thing for DC. But they should just do animation, like comic books and stuff like that. You can just do so more without like, you can just do so much more than live action. And then like I hate how like live action, I mean, I get it, it's a business, it's an industry, but it's like I want to see Captain America in his Captain America mask. I don't want him to be like, yeah, I'm Steve Rogers out in the world and no one's trying to like shoot this man. Like, I don't know, there's only like one evil villain out in the world in the Marvel universe, and when that person dies, like that's it. No one's going after Captain America, or they know Tony Stark was Iron Man. No one went after his family or anything. Nothing. I watched that Apocalypse movie. That shit went hard. Yeah, I haven't seen it personally. I definitely have seen a whole lot of it though on YouTube. But yeah, that shit was. I don't know. I guess I'm like the old man now for like the animated series, where I like the Unlimited, or at least like the early 2000s. I shouldn't say my age, or my era, but like the early 2000s like stuff. The new 52 like movies were kind of like weird for me. I mean, they were good. Don't get me wrong. Like I love the like dark stuff, like the Constantine and all like the magic stuff. That shit was tight. Um, but yeah, I don't know. Kind of forget. I remember watching it. Yeah, everyone was fucking dying. That shit was crazy. I liked Unlimited, to be honest. Oh, yeah, that's good. Yeah, I liked it too. I mean, not everyone has to like it, but it's just probably nostalgia for me. I don't know. Maybe yeah, that's like maybe the new 52. Like that's not my Superman or something like that. Hashtag not my Superman. But yeah, let me get back into this. Not saying I have to like super keep on track with like the topic of the day, but yeah, that's kind of like my knowledge of like stonks. Um, oh yeah, like I said, for like taxing dividends, I went on to like very like the active ways of like what's it trading stocks. But yeah, for dividends, um, what's it? Pretty much the same way as like, or pretty much how tax brackets are. There is literally the bracket of like the money that you make from like work and stuff like that, and then there is like the long-term capital gains, or at least for dividends, it's qualified dividends and non-qualified dividends. And what that pretty much means is that like qualified dividends are pretty much like U.S. companies. These U.S. companies that give you dividends will be taxed at the bracket of long-term capital gains. It's pretty much the same percentage, even though for dividends it's called qualified dividends, while non-qualified dividends are taxed along with the money that you make from work. So, those companies, even though they're American, would include REIT companies. So REIT stocks. REITs are retail investment trusts. Yeah, real estate investment trusts. I think I just retail investment trusts. Yeah, they're companies that are pretty much like the what's it? I guess they have a lot of property. God, I'm blanking out on this. I mean, all REITs are different, but I mean, like they normally like they either like invest into like medical buildings, or like they lease out medical buildings or the such, or like actual like family homes and shit like that. But it's all real estate. So you don't necessarily need to buy real estate to be in like that real estate game. You could be in the stocks of those companies. But those dividends are taxed at your normal income rate. Other stocks that aren't qualified dividends are out of state. So, like I said, anything that's not U.S. So Canada, European, Asian. John Constantine was definitely a great movie. Justice League Dark was my favorite. Yeah, I love the mythical stuff that they did with the movies. Because I guess, they didn't truly have it in Unlimited, but those characters were still dope nonetheless. Like, Etrigan is tight. Of course, John Constantine is sick. I love Dr. Fate, but I think he wasn't really too much in this. I forget. It's been a while since I've seen, like, the new 52 universe. The only thing I can kind of say about DC that I dislike is that they always do the same stories. Teen Titans always has the Judas Contract. Of course, they had like the death of Superman. The Reign of Superman was all right. I kind of had bigger hopes for that one. They got Slade too. Wait. Are you talking about like the movie? Or as like a character? You talk about Deathstroke, right? Slade Wilson. Yeah, I mean, Deathstroke's a cool character. Um, hydration. Yeah, Deathstroke Slade. Yeah. Um, yeah, I always liked his stuff. Like it was neat because like diving deeper into like his like story and all that. Well, I mean I don't know too much of the story, but like other than being like a super cool trained assassin, he actually has like he actually does have like a super healing factor and all that, um and yeah, he looks cool with the one eye. But yeah, it's just neat how he's kind of like a super soldier in a way too. It's dope. Um, that's a good story on its own. Yeah. So, um, yeah. So that's kind of like just the brief, kind of scratching the surface of like stocks and how they're like at least taxed as well. Um, if you want to like, I guess, tune and watch into these people as they like release their financial videos. I do tune in into certain. I do tune in to Daspreet Singh of Minority Mindsets. There's also Kevin of Meet Kevin. There's Graham Stephan of the Graham Stephan and Graham Stephan Show. There's a couple channels. Andre Jick. There's Jeremy of Financial Education. So, yeah, honestly, like there's a whole lot more. But at least with the information that I gave you, you can kind of like get into like stocks. I mean, definitely, like I said, do your due diligence further, especially when picking into stocks. But like, at least you know how they're taxed, and kind of like certain like routes or plans to go about getting into the stock market. I can definitely like, further, go into like these plans and maybe like certain stocks to look into. But I guess I can do like that, like a short one for now. Oh yeah. I think one thing I remember too, seeing in like Investopedia, is just saying that you can like actually lose up to $3,000 within the stock market and then like write it off in your like tax returns. It's like interesting. I can't type. Like I said, can't type. My bad. What did you do that? He can learn anyone's moves and copy it. That's how Slade knew Deadpool would kill the universe. Oh snap! Wait, when was this? When Slade knew Deadpool would kill the universe? It was a crossover. That's pretty cool. So yeah, how to deduct stock losses for your tax bill. Yeah, if you don't have capital gains to offset your capital losses, you can use capital loss as an offset to ordinary income up to $3,000 per year. Pretty neat. Pretty neat. Free $3,000 a year to throw away in the stock market. Put it all on. I think cryptocurrencies will get taxed as like regular income, like tax bracket. But put it on Doge. Doge to the moon. Diamond hands. CCIV. That's all I'm going to say, y'all. If that one, I'm waiting for that one. I need to get more of this one. If I do, and it happens, I might be a thousandaire. Well, I need to make another. I need to make taxes to work for me. Yeah, do it, dude. Yeah, making my stocks work for me. Of course, Investopedia, good place to look at as well if you're trying to understand stuff about the stock markets. ETFs. Oops. And like traded, an exchange traded fund. So yeah, like I said, there's different ETFs. Track different things. Industry and ETFs track a particular industry, such as technology, banking, oil. So yeah, here's some real world examples of ETFs. So the S&P 500 is SPY. The oldest surviving and widely known ETF is SPY. So if you go to the SPY ETF, you go to their Yahoo financial reports, it goes for $390. But if you see when they first started out in 93 and they're at $45 and you just held on, you had diamond hands and you held on forever, you could say it went to the moon, 30 years later. Yeah, so this is like the year, here's like the crash we had back in 2020, late April, early March, late February, early March. And yeah, one of these, like I said, ETFs, you kind of can think of it matches the S&P 500. So when our economy crashed, it crashed as well. But since we have been going up in a V-shaped recovery, not a V-shape at all, more like a K-shape. But yeah, so ETFs, one of those things you can passively just throw your money in. You can sprinkle it in because, for certain trading platforms, they'll let you fractional reserve or fractional share things. So you don't necessarily need to pay this $390 all at once to be invested in this company. You can only you can pay as less as $1, or as as less as $1. So yeah, you can invest like $10, have less than definitely less than like a third or fourth or whatever, and just have it increase. ETFs, good way to just throw your money in, yeet your money into it, sprinkle bay it into your portfolio. It's good to diversify. Also other ones to watch ETF wise that just this is gold, this is other things. The Russell 2000, this is like small companies, the Mon Paws. Dow Jones. Yo, what's up, Mr. Doggy? How's it going? Hello, how are you? What's up? CCIV trending tickers. Let's go, CCIV. Like I said. Uh-oh, did you see all my porn search results? So yeah, AT&T has a dividend, pays out 52 cents. So if you had, a bajillion, say you had, 10 shares of AT&T, or you wanted to buy it, it'll cost you $286.90, and you would get $5 a quarter, because they pay it out. Dividends get paid out quarterly. Some companies do it monthly. Some companies might just do it twice a year, but that's rare. It's typically quarterly. And, you know, like I said, dividends increase if you are in the right companies. If you believe these companies will be around, you might not have to do such research, but at least be wary of the CEO and who's running your company. If they're their track record is known to like sink companies, which would be, I don't know why a company would be like, yeah, we'll have you as our CEO. You know, your dividends might be in jeopardy, but, you know, luckily AT&T is not like that at the moment. Looks like they have increased it in 2019 or early 2020. But yeah, dividends, y'all. That's what I'm trying to go for. But yeah, I think that is it for me, everybody. It is 11 o'clock. Hope you had a great time as much as I did. Talking about stonks. This is what I've been learning 2020. Not the entire 2020. Man, I'd be a slow learner. But, you know, this is what I've been doing. Investing my money. Able to get a good amount. Where's Bitcoin at? Cryptocurrencies. Oh, look at that. If you invested in early 2020, it was only $6,000, $7,000, and you would have got an extra $40,000. Oh my goodness. Okay, so cryptocurrencies could be the future. And that is it for me, everybody. Shout out to you guys for coming through and hanging out. I hope you guys had a great time. I'm going to be hitting this roll the credits because I know some people, you know, followed me, gave me some cheers, and I thank you guys so much for that. And I hope you guys liked what you guys, you know, what I streamed and all that. Shout outs to Cherish Love for the cheer. And yeah, if you guys are on YouTube, subscribe, hit that like button, hit the bell for notifications, you know, definitely help out. Comments to help the algorithm. But yo, thank you guys so much for tuning in, hanging out. Hope you guys enjoyed yourselves as much as I did. And sorry, Mr. Doggy, I couldn't stay and say hey, what's up. But I hope you're doing well in New Zealand. I hope you have a good night. Or at least a good morning, good day. But I will be getting some rest. But yo, shout out to everyone. Deuces, everybody. Adios, Pretty Good Gaming. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for the raid as well. Check them out at their Twitch site, pretty_good_gaming. But yeah, that's it for me, everybody. Tomorrow I will maybe be in San Jose, maybe stream that. I don't know. Who knows? But most likely we'll be streaming tomorrow. All right. Deuces for the loves. Uno for the haters. thee.O.P's my name. And if you hate the players, you probably hate the game.